Me right now is former Georgia Congressman and former Judiciary Committee ranking member Doug Collins. He is host of the Doug Collins podcast. Doug, it's great to see you this morning. Thank you so much for being here. There is so much to talk about with you because you had so much time in Judiciary looking at the FBI, looking at the bad behavior of some in leadership. So I want to get to that in a moment. But first, why is it that the Democrats and the Republicans are in this dead heat, despite the fact that everywhere you look, there is a fire to put out? What's wrong with Republicans that they don't have a larger gap, a larger lead in the Senate?
Well, right now, I think it's the way that the polling's taking place. Look, that generic ballot you talked about, the 41-41, that's always actually, if you look at historically, trended toward Democrats. And for the Republicans' number to be actually higher is actually an anomaly, is what we've at least seen over the last 8 to 10 years. So that number I don't look at as well. I look at individual races. And I think really right now it's just the statewide emphasis of these races. The Democrats have a lot of money that they're pouring in early. Most of them did not go through heated primaries that the Republicans did in some of these states. So I think it's just settling out. After September 1st is when these races will start to really mature. You're going to see these races turn in. And I'm looking forward to a Senate victory and definitely a House victory. But all these races will definitely always come together a little bit closer. It just happens that way, Maria. And I think but the Biden hangover is still there.
Yep. Well, how much is this most recent story impacting all of this? Attorney General Merrick Garland breaking his silence yesterday on the FBI raid on former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. Let's take a listen. Watch.
I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. The department does not take such a decision lightly. Where possible, it is standard practice to seek less intrusive means as an alternative to a search.
Okay, so now let's see it. The AG is also revealing his motion to make the search warrant public. Trump is on board. We could see a copy of this search warrant this afternoon, as early as this afternoon, Doug. What are you expecting? And what is your reaction to Merrick Garland?
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, earlier reports, he'd said he had nothing to do with it or didn't even know about it. Now he's saying he personally approved it. I mean, it's been back and forth with this. But, Maria, if you think about this, we've dealt with this for a while. It's not that, frankly, the FBI, especially the agents and all, they're doing what they're told. But we've seen this before with the non-transparency, the seemingly politicization of the DOJ, and especially the FBI during the last 19 months of Merrick Garland's role as Attorney General. So I think what happened this week just simply adds to that concern by the American people that, that this is becoming more and more of a political idea, that why was these extreme measures taken in a search of the Mar-a-Lago residence when, as he actually said, there are other ways. And I think this is going to be important. We'll see what happens in this warrant. We'll see what they're actually looking for. But the question comes out that I've heard over and over again is, what was the urgency here? If they had known this was there, or they had known about it for several months, like now sometimes they're implying, why did they not get it then? Why did they not work through subpoenas? Why did they not go faster with this? That's the questions I think that'll be asked. And in the words of Andrew Cuomo, he said, if this is only about documents, the American people probably are not going to understand why this was of such importance when there was really no real loss of losing the documents, especially in the case of where they were then.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that Cuomo tweeted out commentary on this for sure. But this feels like a whole deja vu. This is what also was happening in 2016 and 2017 when the FBI was pursuing FISA warrants to spy on the Trump campaign. And then we found out that they knew all along that the dossier was fake. They knew that in January of 2017 when Igor Danchenko did a 3-day interview with the FBI and told them, oh, we were just laughing over beers, and it was all made up. And they still pursued FISA warrants to spy on the Trump campaign, even in the face of all serious issues like potential criminality with Hunter Biden taking money from the Chinese Communist Party. Now we've got former FBI Deputy Assistant Director Terry Turchi last night with Jesse Waters. He says, we may have the highest level of government penetrated by Chinese agents. The revolution is here, the communist revolution. No raids on Hunter Biden, on Joe Biden, anybody affected by Chinese influence, and yet they are raiding President Trump.
Yeah, I mean, the American people, especially conservatives who've watched this over the last few years, have just said, where's the there's two tiers of justice here. I mean, look, I loved how Hillary Clinton came out selling merchandise about email, but I'll correct her shirt. It says, what about the destroyed emails? Let's be honest about that with Hillary Clinton. What about Hunter Biden with, tapes of him and video and pictures of him, with prostitutes, drugs, and guns, of which he's not supposed to have, but I don't see any raids going on here. Again, the FBI do their job, but the unfortunate part about it, because leadership in the past, just like you mentioned, has been so distrustworthy, or appearing to the American people, that when they come to things, that the people just don't give them the benefit of the doubt, and they shouldn't, based on their track history. So we'll see how this turns out. But again, with everything going on in this country right now, Maria, with crime and everything else, really, this is the face of what the FBI wants to be shown doing right now, when all of the complaints about every crime in our bigger cities, and this is what they're doing? I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah. That's a big problem, too. Doug, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much. We will be listening to the Doug Collins podcast. Thank you, sir.
Great.
We will see you soon.
Thank you. Take care.